कि जो राज्य सरकार तैयारी दिखाकर और वो उस तैयारी पे चैलेंज मोड अभी सब जगह एस्टेब्लिश हो गया है, तो चैलेंज मोड में ये शुरू होंगे, लेकिन मुख्यतः अनसर्व्ड एरिया में होंगे और एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट में होंगे। 60-40
या 90-10
90-10 जहां नॉर्थ ईस्ट
और
hill states is 90-10, others, and UT is also 100%, and this other states 60-40.
सर मैं लक्ष्मण CNBC आवाज़ से सिंगल ब्रांड डिटेल में लोकल सोर्सिंग के नॉर्म्स के लोग जो आपने घोषणा की, उसमें जो समय सीमा दी गई थी 30% के लोकल सोर्सिंग नॉर्म्स को पूरा करने के लिए, क्या उसमें भी किसी तरह का बदलाव किया गया है? और दूसरा सवाल प्रकाश जावड़ेकर जी से, ये कैसे इंश्योर करें कि शुगर एक्सपोर्ट सब्सिडी सीधे किसानों के खाते में जाएगी, क्योंकि ये तो आप एक्सपोर्ट करती हैं कंपनियां, वो उनके खाते में पैसे आता है।
नहीं, कंपनी के खाते में नहीं जाएगा। कंपनी एक्सपोर्ट करते के लिए जो परचेस करती है या शुगर मिल्स है वो एक्सपोर्ट करती है, तो उसमें हिसाब होता है, तो उन्हीं किसानों का खाते में ये सीधा जाएगा या प्रोपोर्शनल, दैट इज ऑलरेडी वर्कड आउट।
5 साल की समय सीमा पहले भी थी, अभी भी 5 साल की समय सीमा है, पर जैसा मैंने बताया कि वो अगर एक्सपोर्ट के लिए भी कुछ डोमेस्टिक खरीदते हैं वो भी गिना जाएगा, और जब फैक्ट्री लगाते हैं या जब प्रोसेस शुरू करते हैं प्रोडक्शन, उस समय तक भी अगर कुछ खरीद रहे हैं, चाहे एक्सपोर्ट के लिए या डोमेस्टिक के लिए सेल्स के लिए भारत से, उसको भी इस 30% में गिना जाएगा। एक और वैसे उसमें छोटा बदलाव ये भी किया है सुविधाजनक बनाने के लिए कि कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में भी अगर कोई व्यक्ति बनवाता है अपना सामान, उसकी भी डोमेस्टिक सोर्सिंग को इस 30% में गिना जाएगा। अगर जैसे आजकल बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियां खुद बनाने के बदले जिसको हमने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को भी अलाउ किया है, उसके थ्रू अगर मैन्युफैक्चर कराती है तो उसकी डोमेस्टिक प्रोक्योरमेंट को भी अलाउ किया जाएगा टू मीट दिस 30% रिक्वायरमेंट। वो ये बढ़ जाएगा लोकल सोर्सिंग, क्योंकि अभी एक्सपोर्ट के लिए भी लोकल सोर्सिंग हम एनकरेज कर रहे हैं, तो इनफैक्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी लोकल सोर्सिंग के इससे बढ़ जाएगी और लोग विश्व भर में अपना एक्सपोर्ट भारत से करें, और उसके लिए भी जो डोमेस्टिक।
Hello and good evening. You're watching Express News with me, Nancy Kohli. Let's begin with the top stories of the day. The Supreme Court today referred Article 370 cases to 5-judge Constitution bench. The Apex Court, while hearing the pleas against the repeal of Article 370, said that the petitions related to the abrogation of special status in Jammu and Kashmir will be heard by Constitution bench in October. Supreme Court has also issued notices to the centre and the Jammu and Kashmir administration on a batch of pleas challenging the presidential order abrogating Article 370 of the Constitution. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, while addressing a Golden Jubilee celebration of Naval Science and Technology Laboratory in Visakhapatnam, said that Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India and the only thing remains to discuss with Pakistan is the POK. He also said India has never been a warmonger, however, it is prepared to give a fitting reply to the enemy. In another attempt to internationalize the Kashmir issue, Pakistan writes to United Nations over the Kashmir issue. It actually uses Rahul Gandhi's statements in its letter to the UN, painting India in a negative light. The BJP hits out at Rahul Gandhi for providing ammunition to Pakistan for anti-India propaganda. While addressing the press, the senior BJP leader and the Union Minister Prakash Javadekar slammed Rahul Gandhi for his reprehensible and false remarks over Jammu and Kashmir situation. He demanded an apology from Congress and Rahul Gandhi. The BJP has also accused Congress of bringing shame to the country. While addressing the press, senior BJP leader and Union Minister Prakash Javadekar slammed Rahul Gandhi for his reprehensible and false remarks over Jammu and Kashmir situation. He demanded an apology from Congress and Rahul Gandhi. Almost all restrictions have been eased from Jammu and Kashmir. The madrasas have also reopened for the day-to-day functioning. The state has approximately 300 madrasas which are expected to be modernized post the abrogation of Article 370. Russia has supported India on the abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir and called it a sovereign and internal matter of India. The Russian ambassador to India, while addressing a press conference in New Delhi, said that the abrogation is a sovereign decision of the Indian government. The Union Home Minister Amit Shah attends 49th Foundation Day celebrations of the Bureau of Police Research and Development at its headquarters in the national capital. On the occasion, the Home Minister released the BPRND's new logo. The theme of the function was promoting good practices and standards. The minister said that BPRND must adopt a holistic approach towards modernization of policing. Union Home Minister Amit Shah also gave away the awards to representatives of the police officers for their outstanding contribution. Amit Shah asserted that police reform is an ongoing process, saying the necessary changes in the CRPC and the IPC will be made only after nationwide consultation. Union Minister for Women and Child Development Smriti Irani visited her parliamentary constituency Amethi today. Addressing the people, she announced that 72 wellness centres will be opened in Amethi. And we'll get you more Express news in just a bit, but for now we have to go across live now to a cabinet briefing by the Union Minister Piyush Goyal.
100% FDI. So even in any other sector where they are doing contract manufacturing through a third party, automatic route will be allowed if there is a legally tenable agreement. Okay. So pharma will also benefit. Now they won't have to go for approval for that.
Okay. Sir, on sugar, the subsidies of 62.38 billion rupees, how will it give? How will the subsidy be given, and whether the subsidies are WTO compatible? Because all these countries, Brazil, Australia, they have complained against India.
These subsidies are WTO compliant, so there will be no issue at international forum. A. B. There is a well laid out process. Already, earlier also, small amount of export subsidy when it was given. Now there is a rational and well laid out system where farmers get credited.
You can ask her.
By the way, the WTO allows up to 2023 subsidies for transport, for marketing. There are certain definitions under section 9D and 9E under which certain subsidies are allowed for agricultural products until 2023 under WTO.
That's exactly the point, sir. How will you give the subsidy? On what basis? Is it domestic transport, ocean freight, or?
No, it is allowed even for export under 9D and 9E. How will you give it? Means it will be worked out. What is the amount? It will be on transport, on
All. Beyond that. It is the transport, that is export transport,
marketing.
and what is the price differential that the subsidy why you give? Because there is a differential which you are providing here so that they benefit.
It will take care of the additional costs incurred, which in a way are being compensated to make us price competitive.
Okay.
Sir, on local sourcing norms for single brand retailing, sir, how will it be counted? I mean, will it be counted, on an annual basis or as
in a block of
for
5 years?
Block of 5 years. Okay, sir. And the second question is on sugar. When will this export subsidy be applicable and for how long?
Immediately.
Sir,
it will come into force
I mean,
immediately.
it has to be exported
Because
within
there is
a year.
already a
sir?
stock. See, there is a stock. As soon as the contracts happen, as soon as they are ready for export, export will take place and the subsidies will be given to those.
Sir, these exports will have to be done within a year, sir? Or?
हर साल अलग होता है. Every year is a new year.
Sugar, na?
Yes, we'll take.
नहीं, ये these are government colleges. 75 new government colleges.
Policy for what?
82 plus 75.
Why we have to make it?
Why we should? No, there is need for more doctors. Our ratio in the world of health per lakh population, so many doctors, is much less than the advanced countries. And to reach to a good healthy practice and a healthcare system, we need more doctors. And therefore, this addition by government medical colleges provides students an opportunity. Even the poor student can take admission because fees are regulated. That is the benefit.
I'll just clarify a little further. In our BJP manifesto, we had written that we will make sure that across the country, we will provide medical facilities and medical education wherever possible in every district around the country. So the idea behind this large scale expansion is that local people, even in the remotest and aspirational districts, also get an opportunity to become doctors and serve the community, point one. Point two, we have already cleared the National Medical Commission bill. Under that, all government seats will be on the regulated fees pattern that the government decides. And for all private colleges, the state governments have been empowered to fix the fees for 50%, at least 50% of the seats will be fixed at the same level as the center. And for the balance 50%, the state government has been given the power to fix a separate fee structure for the private colleges. So the idea, overall idea being that they will also become viable with a little extra, maybe some percentage extra fees over and above the central pattern of fees. So our idea is that we want to encourage private sector medical education also, but government wants to ensure we fulfill our commitment to the people of India.
प्रकाश जी, कैबिनेट की बैठक में इधर प्रकाश जी, क्या कैबिनेट की बैठक में जम्मू कश्मीर के जो जमीनी हालात उस पर कोई चर्चा, कुछ रिव्यू किया गया?
आज विषय आज ये नहीं था, क्योंकि दैट इज बीइंग मॉनिटर्ड ऑन डे टू डे बेसिस, आवर टू आवर बेसिस.
ये विषय कैबिनेट ब्रीफिंग
नहीं, लेकिन मैं बताऊंगा आपको क्या है.
So one last question.
Mr. Goyal,
Sir,
Piyush ji, I just
हाँ,
wanted
तो
to
जो
know.
कहा है वो छापो.
Sir, one last.
so one last
I just
question
wanted
here,
to
please.
know on this issue of FDI and single brand retail, will this now facilitate, for example, you're saying now retail stores are not a requirement, so
No, it can be set up with
later,
subsequently.
brick and mortar shops
To
will be
within
like-
2 years.
Yeah.
So now, what happens to companies like Apple, because PM was very keen on, Apple being set up, they'd asked for some special relaxation.
That is up to them. The choice is theirs whether they want to come.
But do you feel these norms will help them now to ease in terms of facilitating?
Now we are totally aligned with international best practices.
Okay, so this will,
Yes.
in larger scope, will this now become a
I
destination
think it will
point?
encourage a lot more companies, many companies worldwide who are already looking for alternate manufacturing hubs. And therefore, we thought it is good to be integrated in the global practices and become a part of global value chains. I'm sure there are many companies all over the world who want a cost competitive and advantageous country, which also has a large domestic market and has advantages when it wants to export.
So is the percentage of FDI for uploading and streaming the same? And also if you could help us understand the rationale behind 26% FDI, because internet is accessible everywhere.
See, for television channels, the FDI is permitted at 49% with government approval, and they have their digital outlets, which is considered a part of the television network. So that's a separate regime. Print media, we already had 26% with government approval.
Why is that logic?
But-
Print media, logic is that our media should not be taken over by foreigners. So by the demand of media only we have done this.
Thank you very much.
The Union Ministers Prakash Javadekar and Piyush Goyal, of course, holding their press conference after that cabinet meeting that took place yesterday. In fact, major cabinet decisions have been taken, and of course, it includes the easing of FDI norms to give a boost to the economy and the establishment of 75 new medical colleges across the country. And in fact, these are some of the among other major big decisions that have been taken. The Union Cabinet has in fact also allowed 100% FDI in the coal mining through automatic route. That is announced. That was announced by, of course, the Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal after that cabinet meeting, and very important, in fact, plans to set up 75 new medical colleges across the country, like I said, and these new establishments will create around 15,700 new MBBS seats as well. And let's also tell you, the government has earmarked around 24,000 crore rupees for this project. So these are in fact the major decisions that have also been taken as far as sugar export policy for evacuation of the surplus stocks as well have also been taken. And of course, the Minister Prakash Javadekar said about 60 lakh ton sugar is to be exported in this financial year. So these are the major cabinet decisions that have been taken by the cabinet, that cabinet meeting that took place yesterday. The ministers Piyush Goyal and Prakash Javadekar holding that press conference. Okay, let's now move on with Express News. The top stories. In fact, the Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar released a booklet on the performance of first 75 days of the Modi government's second term. The minister also gave away awards to community radio stations at the 7th Community Radio Sammelan. The awards were presented for achievements in broadcasting development programs. The awards were given in various categories like thematic, community engagements for their effective programming on important issues. In the thematic category, first prize for the year 2019 was given to Friends Radio from Tripura for its program on health and women. The second prize in the same category was given to Radio Salam Namaste from Uttar Pradesh for programming in women's empowerment, while third prize was given to Waqt Ki Awaaz Radio from Uttar Pradesh and Alfaz-e-Mewat Radio from Haryana. The awards in same categories for the year 2018 were also presented. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar also stressed on the importance of digitization for a better reach. Information and Broadcasting Secretary Amit Khare, while addressing the presentation of National Awards for Community Radio ceremony in New Delhi, said that the community radio is a link between national thinking process and local issues. The third lunar-bound orbit maneuver for Chandrayaan-2 spacecraft was performed successfully today. There will be 2 more orbit maneuvers to make the spacecraft enter into its final orbit, passing over the lunar poles at a distance of about 100 kilometers from the moon's surface. Supreme Court extends till tomorrow the interim protection from arrest granted to former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram in the INX Media money laundering case lodged by the Enforcement Directorate. Snapping its 3-day rising streak, benchmark BSE Sensex dropped 189 points on Wednesday. The 30-share Sensex settled 189.4 points, at 0.5% lower at 37,451. The broader NSE Nifty fell 59 points, or 0.53% to 11,046. Resuming its record-setting streak, gold prices jumped 300 rupees today to a fresh all-time high of 39,970 per 10 grams. That's according to the All India Sarafa Association, on higher demand from local jewelers and the yellow metals appeal as safe haven amid global economic concerns. Silver skyrocketed 2,110 rupees to 48,850 rupees per kilogram, helped by positive trend overseas and strong demand from industrial units and coin makers. In the US market, the white metal was trading 0.61% up at $18.38 an ounce. The Indian rupee depreciates 27 paise to 71 rupees 75 paise against the US dollar intraday. The Brent crude futures, the global oil benchmark, rose 1.07% to $59.66 per barrel. The public sector banks, Punjab National Bank and Allahabad Bank, launched retail loan products that are linked to RBI's repo rate. Linking of loans with the repo rate will make them cheaper. The new rates will vary from 8.25% to 8.35% for housing loan borrowers and 8.65% for car loan borrowers. Niti Aayog CEO Amitabh Kant said the cost of electric vehicles will always become at par with the combustion engine cars in the next 3 to 4 years, largely owing to decline in the battery price, and India should be ready for this transition. Railways is said to offer up to 25% discount in trains like Shatabdi Express, Tejas and Gatiman Express, which have low occupancy, to bump up ticket sales. The discount will be given on the base fare of trains with AC chair car and executive chair car seats. SEBI Chairman Ajay Tyagi said that mutual funds cannot compromise the safety of investments for higher yields, and an investment strategy must have the elements of safety as well as returns. Aviation regulator DGCA had called an urgent meeting with the Indigo and Go Air to review the performance of the Airbus new aircraft in their fleets. The two budget carriers have been facing glitches in the P&W engine that powers many of the A320 planes. Indigo has announced that it is scouting for an aircraft to launch direct services to long-haul destinations, including London. This is the first time that the low-cost carrier has issued a statement regarding its plans to launch flights to long-haul markets. Maruti Suzuki has announced that despite the downturn, the company will continue investments in new product development and capacity expansion as scheduled to strengthen its leadership position in the country. One of the largest telecom operators in India, the Vodafone Idea Limited, is going to strengthen its backbone in the rest of West Bengal telecom circle by increasing its tower strength in the tune of over 30% soon to ensure deeper penetration. OxyContin maker Purdue Pharma and its owners, the Sackler family, are offering around $10 to $12 billion to settle more than 2,000 lawsuits against the company. The National Bureau of Statistics has reported that China's goods trade volume stood at only $1.13 billion in 1950, while the number has surged to $4.6 trillion in 2018 thanks to the country's reform and opening up efforts. Bolivian President Evo Morales joined firefighters in Santa Rosa to help crew put out Amazon wildfires as the country struggles to contain blazes across Bolivia. Peru and Colombia called on fellow Amazonian countries to attend a presidential meeting on 6 September on the forest fires and to forge a pact to protect the world's largest tropical forest. Trucks transported felled trees from the Amazon night as fires raged nearby in the rainforest. A reported record number of fires have plagued the Amazon rainforest this year. Washington has approved a $3.3 billion sales of anti-ballistic missiles to Japan, following close behind a series of new ballistic missile tests by North Korea that could threaten the US ally. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani has told the United States to take the first step towards dialogue by lifting all the sanctions against his country. Rouhani said the US must retreat from what he called an illegal, unjust and wrong sanctions against Iran. Amid tensions between the US and Iran, the Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif has said Iran is not seeking to increase tension, but every country should be able to enjoy its rights under international law. The British government has asked the Queen to suspend Parliament just days after MPs returned to work in September and only a few weeks before the Brexit deadline. Boris Johnson said a Queen's speech would take place after the suspension on 14th October to outline its very exciting agenda. South Korea summoned Japan's ambassador Yasumosa Nagamine to protest against its decision to remove Seoul's fast-track export status by dropping it from its white list. South Korea called in the envoy to lodge a formal complaint and demand that the whitelist decision be reversed. South Korean Prime Minister Lee Na-kyon also expressed regret over Japan's whitelist measure, vowing to refer the issue to the WTO. South Korea's Deputy National Security Advisor also said that the government deeply regrets Japan's decision to scrap the last-track export status for South Korea. He said that Korea may reconsider its decision to end the intelligence sharing pact if Tokyo corrected its measures. The envoys at the UN representing the three major European Union powers of Germany, France and Britain have condemned North Korea for its plans to develop new warheads for new launches. A day after a China-born Australian writer Yang Hing-jun was formally arrested in China on the charges of espionage, Australian Foreign Minister has called on China and said the writer should be detained in a manner according to international obligations and must be afforded access to lawyers. The minister further said that there was no basis for the allegations of spying that China has charged Australian writer and the former Chinese diplomat with. About 40 people are feared dead or missing after a boat carrying migrants bound for Europe wrecked off the coast of Libya, with about 60 people rescued. Most survivors were from Sudan, with others from Egypt, Morocco and Tunisia. The former Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak has gone on trial again over alleged fraud involving a government fund of at least $550 million. In the hearing that was held, Malaysia's Najib maintained innocence in the multi-million fraud case. Pakistan's opposition leader Bilawal Bhutto Zardari has lashed out at Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan for alleged failure in its Kashmir policy and said that while earlier Pakistan would talk about taking Srinagar for India, now it's become difficult for Islamabad to even defend Muzaffarabad. In Bangladesh, the High Court has allowed setting up of factories near the ecologically critical areas of Sundarbans. The court asked the government to provide environmental clearance to 3 companies who are setting up LPG bottling plants in Mongla industrial area near the Sundarbans. The Colombian police made an unusual discovery of 300 kilograms of marijuana hidden inside a funerary coffin in the northern Colombian department of Santander. A man has been arrested in the connection. Torrential rains have caused floods and landslides on the southern Japanese island of Kyushu, killing at least 2 people and prompting authorities to issue a rare emergency warning and the evacuation orders for nearly 850,000 people in the region. At least 2 people died and 7 were injured after part of an apartment building collapsed in the western Ukrainian town of Drohobych due to a strong gas explosion, the Ukrainian State Emergency Services said. The explosions hit 2 police checkpoints in the Gaza Strip, killing 2 officers and wounding several other Palestinians, forcing the government to declare a state of emergency over the incidents. Prime Minister Modi lauded the Indian para-badminton players for their performance in the recently concluded BWA World Championships. The Indian contingent was able to win 12 medals in the tournament. Celebrities took it to Twitter to hail Manasi Joshi, who defeated 3-time world champion Parul Parmar 21-12, 21-7 in the finals to bag her maiden title at the recently concluded World Badminton Championship. The Union Minister for Youth Affairs and Sports, Kiran Rijiju, said that the Delhi and District Cricket Association, the DDCA, have taken the right decision of renaming the Firozshah Kotla Stadium as the Arun Jaitley Stadium. The renaming will be done on 12th September. After winning a historic gold medal at the BWF World Championships, PV Sindhu arrived in India and was seen thanking fans for the support, adding that she wished to bring many more laurels to the country. The Indian cricket team skipper Virat Kohli maintained his lead over Australia's Steve Smith in the latest ICC Cricket Test rankings. Top-ranked Kohli has 910 points, while Smith with 904 is placed second. Speedster Jasprit Bumrah also made his maiden entry into the top 10 of the ICC rankings. The fastest Indian pacer to 50 wickets is now 7th in the bowlers list. The biggest gainer, however, was England's Ben Stokes following his stupendous effort in the 3rd test against Australia at Headingley. He is now 13th among batsmen and 2nd among all-rounders. Rafael Nadal marched through the US Open second round with a dominant display over John Millman. Nadal got his US Open campaign off to the best possible start with a straight sets win over Millman. Women's top seed and defending champion Naomi Osaka of Japan was pushed to 3 sets by world number 84 Anna Blinkova in the US Open and had to battle hard to beat the unseeded Russian 6-4, 6-7, 6-2. Unfancied Thomas Fabiano of Italy stunned 4th seed Dominic Thiem 6-4, 3-6, 6-3, 6-2 to advance to the second round of the US Open. The 15-year-old Corey Goff made a winning start to her US Open main draw campaign as she defeated Russian Potapova 3-6, 6-2, 6-4 in the first round of the match. Indian spinner Poonam Yadav is all set to receive the Arjuna Award along with men's cricketer Ravindra Jadeja said it's a proud moment for every athlete when an accolade comes their way. The Indian table tennis player Harmeet Desai is all set to receive the Arjuna Award, said it was his childhood dream to win the award. Desai had bagged gold in 21st Commonwealth Table Tennis Championships held in Odisha last month. Bhubaneswar got a provisional clearance as the first venue for the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup India 2020. The other venues are Kolkata, Ahmedabad, Mumbai and Goa. However, all these venues are yet to get the infrastructure clearance. The Indian Super League has announced a new club called Hyderabad Football Club to compete in the league's upcoming 6th season. Vijay Madhuri and Varun Thiruparneni are the owners of the Hyderabad Football Club. As announced by Cricket West Indies all-rounder Keemo Paul has replaced pacer Miguel Cummins in the West Indies squad for the upcoming second test match against India. Former Australian pacer Clint McKay has been appointed as interim coach of the Vanuatu's men cricket team. His first assignment will be guiding Vanuatu through the first stage of the ICC Cricket World Cup Challenge. Tiger Woods announced that he had a knee operation last week but is expected to make a full recovery and hopes to be back competing in October. The former world number one withdrew from the Northern Trust Open early this month due to pain and stiffness in his surgically repaired back. Former Manchester United forward Eric Cantona will be receiving the 2019 UEFA President's Award. The UEFA president said that Cantona is a man who refuses compromises and stands up for his values. Inter Milan have agreed a loan deal to sign forward Alexis Sanchez from Manchester United. If a deal goes through, Sanchez will link up with the ex-United teammate Romelu Lukaku, the striker having joined the Series A club for £74 million this summer. Prime Minister Modi thanked actor Aamir Khan for extending support to the movement to eliminate the usage of single-use plastic in the country. The Prime Minister tweeted, I quote, "Thank you Aamir Khan for the valuable support to the movement to eliminate the usage of single-use plastic. Your encouraging words will inspire others to strengthen the movement as well." After Aamir Khan backs Prime Minister Modi's initiative to ban single-use plastic, several Bollywood stars came forward in support of the campaign. Filmmaker Karan Johar, actor Ayushmann Khurrana and Bhumi Pednekar took to Twitter to support the cause. The film starring John Abraham, Mumbai Saga, went on tour on Tuesday. The producer of the film, Bhushan Kumar, took to Twitter to share the news. Directed by Sanjay Gupta, the film will hit the big screens on 19th June next year. Actor Ishan Khattar and Ananya Pandey are all set to collaborate in the next film called Khali Pili. The film will be directed by Maqbool Khan and will go on the floors on 11 September this year. The new song from the movie Dream Girl released on Tuesday, the song titled Dangal Lala Gali, opens with devotees hailing the Lord Ganesha. It is sung by Meet Brothers and Jyotika Tangri. Actor Farhan Akhtar began shooting for Tufan. Rakesh Omprakash Mehra's directorial will feature Farhan as a boxer. Meanwhile, Farhan will also be seen in The Sky is Pink and with Priyanka Chopra. Salman Khan completed 31 years in the film industry and the superstar thanked his fans for playing a huge part in this journey. He tweeted, I quote, "A big thank you to the Indian film industry and to everyone who's been a part of this 31-year journey, especially all my fans and well-wishers who have made this amazing journey possible," unquote. Simon Pegg and J.K. Simmons teamed up for the upcoming thriller film My Only Sunshine. The script of the film will be penned by J.T. Petty and K. Reed Petty, while it will be helmed by Mark Palansky. Viola Davis is all set to play Michelle Obama in the series titled First Ladies. The First Ladies will focus on the East Wing of the White House as opposed to the West, where many of the impactful decisions were made by dynamic First Ladies. Filmmaker Michael Bay is in negotiations to direct Sony's upcoming action movie Black 5. The director is currently waiting for the release of his Netflix actioner 6 Underground, which is his first project outside the Transformers franchise in years. Marvel has confirmed that the much-anticipated film The Eternals will have a gay character in it. The upcoming superhero flick has the most diverse cast of any Marvel film ever. Since the Ganesh Chaturthi is around the corner, eco-friendly Ganesha idols are seen in the state of Maharashtra. These idols are made of cow dung, clay, natural soil and other sustainable materials. Ashish Kasudekar from Pune became the first Indian to complete the 555-kilometer marathon in Ladakh, which is also called the cruelest marathon of the world. La Ultra the High, the marathon that is organized every year in Ladakh. A driverless shuttle bus lands on the roads of Singapore, allowing a line of tourists to board. The island state ranks second behind the US in its preparedness for driverless vehicles. International Air Show MAX 2019 opened in the Moscow region with demonstration flights of Russian military jets and civil aircraft. This expo is the first one, organized with the participation of China. President Vladimir Putin visited the opening ceremony of the air show with his Turkish counterpart Erdogan. NASA Center for Near-Earth Object Studies have said that the two large recently discovered asteroids will pass by Earth tomorrow. The scientists at NASA has been tracing their orbital path around the Sun. Akiko Shibata from Japan won the Masters of Musical Whistling International Festival and competition, which took place in the Los Angeles suburb of Pasadena. The festival brings together whistlers from all over the world to battle for the next world champion. The world-famous Tomatina Festival will begin in Bunol, where thousands of revelers will hurl 145 tons of tomatoes at each other. The residents and shopkeepers protected their buildings with plastic sheets to avoid tomato stains on their walls, windows and doors. More than 4,000 red-laced tortoises, which were smuggled into Russia in a cabbage truck, were safely returned to their Aris region of Kazakhstan. The tortoises were hidden amongst cabbage in 24 bags on the back of a truck that was stopped at the Russia-Kazakhstan border. The environmental activist group Extinction Rebellion released a short film with an exclusive remix of the Massive Attack track Hymn of the Big Wheel, providing the soundtrack. The Deliberate Rebellion is a 12-minute film examining recent demands made on the UK government to take political action against climate change. A Bangkok street sweeper, Thitirat Kuaram, created a phenomenon after a picture of her carrying her dog on her back while sweeping the streets went viral on the internet. The Bring Your Dog to Work trend has been growing in Thailand for the past years. And with that, it's a wrap on Express News this evening. Thanks for being with us.
Some cases seem unsolvable, throwing up more questions than answers, leading us down blind alleys only to reach a dead end. But all these mysteries can be unlocked, all thanks to a single wonder molecule, nature's detective DNA. But how does this double helix contain the secret code to all these case files? That's a question of science. Detectives have always relied on biology to fight crime. In 1860, William Herschel, a British administrator in India, first used human fingerprints to stop frauds in pension funds. In keeping permanent records of pensioners, he realized that each fingerprint was unique to the individual and remained unchanged through his or her lifetime. And so fingerprints became trusted investigative tools. In the 1900s, another forensic tool was introduced when Dr. Karl Landsteiner showed that different individuals could possess different blood types. This radical